My attitude towards our assignments that we had, it started to go really well in the beginning, but then as we got into like the second or third week, I got a little frustrated because I've been trying to learn Photoshop for a very long time, even before I started school at Full Sail. I really have a hard time watching the tutorials and moving along with it and doing it at the same time. I feel like I'm a little behind everybody else when it comes to Photoshop. I'm used to the old school paint, but I do feel like my assignment for the pitch presentation would have been so much better if I would have just knew how to use Photoshop. But I did learn a little tricks here and there with it. I still will continue to use Photoshop even after this class just because I really want to know how to use it. As I started using Photoshop more and more, I started learning a little bit just by practicing with it. I watched several tutorials. I even got a book from the Full Sail library, but that book is like that thick, and I wasn't able to get through it. And it did help me though, but I think they need to make a Photoshop for Dummies book, and they probably do, and I should probably look into getting that. I think I did the best that I possibly could have done on these assignments. I do wish that we would have had more time with the class, but 4 weeks just flies by, and I feel like if I would have just been more hands-on in a classroom working with it, I think that might actually be a way I might go, because I do know that Photoshop and Illustrator are the future, and if I want to get into advertising, I really need to learn how to use it very well. And I know it's going to take more than just 4 weeks. It's going to take me years, but it'll be worth it, and it is a fun tool to experiment with and play with, and it does so much, but I'll get it. I do feel like that most of this class did focus mostly on using Photoshop and Illustrator. So if I had more time, like I said previously, I would definitely I would love to have more time learning it. So that way my projects could have looked so much better. If I could have only have just changed my title or our logo and done something different with it. I didn't know how to use the bending tool. I looked it up, still couldn't do it. I don't know why, but I'm going to figure it out because it's really bothering me. So that's just some education that I'm just going to have to take with me after this class. Okay, so I thought that I really wanted to go into advertising and making ad pages, but if I can't nip this in the butt with learning how to use this software, I don't know if maybe I should just be the person to have the ideas and have somebody else put it on paper, but I really want to go into a career in advertising. If I don't, I kind of like the film and editing, so I'm going to figure out what area I want to go. Still have another whole academic year to figure that out, but I do know if I don't figure out how to use Photoshop and Illustrator professionally, then I probably won't be the one laying out the web page. It was very frustrating for me to do these assignments, and I think I kind of figured out now that that might not be the area that I want to go into. I thought I did, tried it. It wasn't too interesting. It was more frustrating than anything. But I guess that's how we learn. We learn from our mistakes, and we learn how to do it. So still have a different path that I might take in the near future as far as my career.